with this explosion of artificial intelligence, specifically artificial general intelligence, there's also been an explosion in the hardware, the technical systems that build and run AI, specifically GPUs. These are graphical processing units, or modified. They're very similar to GPUs, but not quite the same thing. It's very similar to the same technology we use to power video games and video editing software, high performance hardware. Um, but tell me, it seems like we've kind of encountered a bottleneck. Tell me about the technology required to produce AGI or generative AI at scale, and why has this bottleneck emerged?
Okay, great. That's an amazing topic. So, as you said, first of all, GPUs, graphical processing units, they are with us in the world for a long time already. So they've been used in gaming, the gaming industry, for quite a long time. And I think around 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, researchers found out that GPUs can be used to train AI models much more efficiently than any other computing platform before. So GPUs are essentially our accelerator hardware that can do a lot of parallel processing very efficiently. And so they are really good for AI training. And what has been happening in the last few months is that generative AI and language models are just exploding since the launch of ChatGPT with OpenAI. And that created a huge demand for GPUs right now in the market. And the demand right now is much higher than the supply. And then that has a lot of important implications. And yeah, and we can get, delve into the details of how you want to do that. But
Well, I'm curious. When I think GPU, and I know that this is an intentional marketing and brand association, but I think Nvidia and I think millions of other people have the same brand association. But are these GPUs the power AGI, Nvidia? Are they a diverse set of chips? Who is making these, and where specifically is the bottleneck?
okay, so graphical processing units are associated very much with Nvidia. That's true, but there are other companies like AMD, for example, that are also providing and supplying GPUs. Intel as well, so they are supplying GPUs for the gaming industry. And in the AI market right now, it's really about Nvidia. Nvidia are dominating the market. People say that they have around 87% of the AI market. So that's huge, a huge number. Nvidia created an amazing ecosystem around their hardware with a lot of software solutions that come on top of their hardware. So they really created a way for researchers and AI practitioners just to train models very easily on GPU. So right now they are the dominant player. I think we're seeing AMD and Intel as well with new offering around AI. We're also seeing other companies like Amazon and Google that are building their own chips for AI. Amazon already offering those chips on their cloud on AWS. Google for quite a long time already are offering their TPU, Tensor Processing Unit. And there are some also new startups that are building their own chips for AI. So really the AI market really evolved in the last few years. But right now, Nvidia is controlling the market, and we saw their stock really exploding in the last few months.
How are these? How is the hardware distinct and different? I mean, they are graphical processing units, but they are created for AI, not just video games. How are they distinct from gaming hardware? This isn't just stuff you pull off the shelf. These are custom chips.
Right, they are custom chips. So they are custom chips that originally were built for gaming processing, right? With gaming, you have a lot of linear processing, a lot of visual processing, and those processing units were also applied to AI. And with time, and they were amazing for AI, and they provided a lot of value. With time, and with the growth of the AI market, Nvidia started to create GPUs that are more specialized for AI, creating tensor units and hardware components within the GPU that are more specialized for AI, and more specialized for training models, and more specialized for actually running those AI models. So indeed, it's like Nvidia, every 2 years they are putting out a new hardware, and every 2 years this hardware is more specialized for AI, and they're providing new capabilities in that area.
That kind of leads to the next question about the future of AI. I know everybody, AGI, artificial general intelligence, kind of a hot topic right now, but what what hardware requirements? I mean, that is human level artificial intelligence. So what hardware requirements uh, are different, are special, or are needed to build AGI versus what we have today, which is generative AI?
Okay, so that's a great question. I think for AGI and for AI in general, there are three major components at high level. So one is data. So you need a lot of data to train models. Second is the algorithmic, the models themselves. And the third component is computing processes that you could process, the data and train those models. So what we've seen in the last 10 years is that the computing requirements for training state-of-the-art models just increased amazingly fast. And 10 years ago, to train the state-of-the-art model, back then it was a computer vision model, and 2 GPUs were needed. And right now, OpenAI trained GPT-4, and according to rumors, using around 20,000 GPUs. So 10x, so 10,000x more GPUs are needed right now compared to 10 years ago to train state-of-the-art models. So that's amazing. And the GPUs only became better and better and more powerful. So I think if we're looking forward, more compute will be required to train bigger models, to train more capable models. And if we're going to AGI, so more data, more quality data, more computing resources will be needed. So computing resources is a critical component. And without that, you cannot do AI, right? So that's really important.
When I hear people in AI and you say more powerful, more capable, I also hear more power hungry. Tell me, are these chips and is the training required to build these models? Is this becoming more efficient at scale, or are they just more hungry at scale?
Yeah, so that's the trend that we saw until now, that bigger and bigger models provided better and better results. Those models were able to solve more complex problems and be, very generic, as we see right now with ChatGPT. You can actually ask it any question, right? And not always it will provide like an accurate answer, but you can ask it any question. So the capabilities of state-of-the-art AI just increased with the size of the models and how hungry those models are for data and for computing power. And so that trend we saw, I think now we got into a point with language models and generative AI models, into a point that it's quite of saturating right now. It's quite of saturating in terms like models are not becoming bigger and bigger. But in terms of like the next wave of AI and what new innovation will come, new capabilities will come with new AI models, they will probably use more compute power than today.
So, let's talk a little bit about the software. You've spent your career building algorithms, and even at Apple, you've helped optimize software. Um, how does the software that runs AGI systems improve? Is it recursively? We've heard a lot about AI drift, but how is the software built, maintained, and how does it improve itself over time?
So I think a lot of work on the software stack. The software stack was built in the last 10 years. software stack for AI, and it's still being built. I think a lot of work has been done on just providing frameworks and tools for practitioners to easily train models and easily experiment with data and with new architectures of models. But not a lot of work has been done in terms of efficiency and using the computing resources in an efficient way. So there are major issues right now. And if you, for example, if you go and check the utilization, how utilized are all of those GPUs in OpenAI data center, in Microsoft data centers, you'll see a very low number. I'm bet you see a number around like 10%, below the 20% for sure. So hardware right now for AI is not being utilized very well, and it's really difficult and to utilize because those GPUs are really powerful. So utilizing them efficiently, it's really difficult. And I think a lot of work is right now is being invested in those areas, just building software to optimize the usage of AI infrastructure and GPUs.
Last question. Often in AI, and I ask this question all the time, but often we hear about this crazy AGI future where perhaps we will have robots running all of everything, full automation and
Would be crazy,
super
right?
intelligence. Yeah, right. Craziness. But tell me about the practical 6, 18, 36 months. Tell me about the now. How is AI going to have a real impact on jobs, kitchen table issues? How will it impact me right now?
Oh, it will impact you with no doubt. Okay, so a few things on that. I think first of all, the technology is there. The capabilities of generative AI and language models are there. You can see the potential is there, and I think now it's about building those applications that make use of those amazing capabilities and actually provide value to me and you, right, and to the entire humanity. So we're seeing right now in the ecosystem so many startups getting into this. They're getting into this ecosystem and building stuff, building application using generative AI models and language models. So I think a lot of innovation is going to come in the next few months and in the next few years. I think first of all, one of the amazing things that are happening right now with language models is the fact that you can provide a new interface to applications. We got used to interfaces through websites, right? But now you can speak to your computer. You can text it, right? And with natural language, you don't need to program your computer, and you don't need to, right? You just use natural language. So we'll see more and more language interfaces and language interactions with our applications. So that will come for sure. I think a lot of new innovation is coming on the search space. Search is going to change with no doubt. The way you interact with data and the way you get insights from data, that will get much better than it used to be. And I think like any application that actually uses search will change. Like the way we search for hotels and vacations, right? That will change. A new experience is potentially out there for us to search those things. And I think we'll see more and more innovation in very interesting ways.
Do you believe in this AGI future?
That's a big question. I tell you, I honestly, I don't know. I think like no one can predict right now. No one can predict what will happen in 5 years from now. Really, like because first of all, like it's like AI is much bigger than us, right? It's like the capabilities are so huge that we cannot really predict what will happen. And second of all, things are happening. It's such a rapid pace. Things are moving very fast in the AI ecosystem. So really predicting like what will happen in a few years from now, it's really difficult.